Right, you know, we'll kick off. You can
Evening,
ask
mate.
auto
Evening.
mute unless you've got a question or speaking. But all the speakers are on the arse end of this sesh, just to save me going through all the photos. Because my photos I put on, they upload by date, which is, I haven't got a number, which I used to, Youngs. So all the speakers on the arse end, because I've numbered them. Right, let's get going. So the photos I'm seeing now, that's them two autopods, which our mate who passed away, his daughter, flogged them. Them two went very quickly. On the back garden, this is being tied up now every 6 days. Luckily, everything is still growing well, meaning I want to get another 3 foot out of him before he has a break for winter. And as you can see, I've got a couple of air bricks over here. I think there's 3 air bricks over the patio doors. But about 10 years ago, we had a wasp hive in the roof space in there. So I just put netting, wedge netting in, and that stopped them getting in. Just a little tip if you got air bricks, you don't want to bloody nest in. Right, my climbers, which I had off Keith, they're going beautiful now, and they're still flowering. There's another one, and this is the one on the left hand side. Patio's down here, so I'm trading in that road, and I've got one going up the top of the garden as well, and he has just reached up to here. Where he's going after that, God knows. Right, my compost. This is after 4 days of adding compost. Just to show you, get a close up. The chap's working away, bacteria, fungi. Beautiful. Right, my talk I had this week was down Bewdley, Horticultural Society. This is our nearest seaside, although it's a river. But this was the day. This was Monday, so this was the day after the last Zoom. First time I've been down there in this place. I took Paul with us for a night out because he's got 3 women at home, so it gives him a break, do it, and it gives them a break at all. This turned out, if you can make them out there were trophies. So it was their presentation night as well. Obviously, I was guest speaker after. That other show earlier on, actually, there's the mayor. There's a trophy she's got to dish out. And my little mate there, met her on the night. I hadn't seen her before. But I only said one word, and straight away I thought, I'm going to like you. Because it was genuine, it was down to earth, which we'll come on to in a minute. And that's her. Because her one, they called her name out first. I think it was for cooking or something. I'm sure it was cooking. They got the trophy, obviously there. And it also got my stuff in the raffle, won out of the raffle. But as the mayor gave her the trophy, because he put his other hand out to shake her and dropped the cup, and I said shit, and that's when I thought, I'm going to like you. He must have thought, Gordon Bennett in your own. That's me mate. Polly is a good one. This is setting up about another 10 minutes and we start kick off. These 2 chaps here, these exhibited our shirt and come to the auction on the night as well with quite a bit of stuff. Because him, he's got a plot down Starbridge. But it was a good night. And that was Meg, Speaker Secretary. Just us talking and compost at the end. Right, this is in the Sun newspaper, so it's got to be true. Boy races. Now we get these arseholes coming up our road, meaning they've had the exhaust tampered with. If they put their foot down, it makes a row, obviously, but then it bangs about every 2 seconds. Of course, our dog shits herself, so I've been out and I've been taking photos of them, getting the number plates, and then this come out, meaning there's quite a few doing it. Meaning they got twin large exhausts and then modify them to make a bloody row. What they're doing now is putting these cameras up, but it's got sensors in, so I think it gets the sound of it as well, revving. Then it takes a registration number and all this crap. So I'm gonna email Dudley Council, say we need one on our road with some bloody rat road. At least I'm doing some. Sweet chestnuts, loads of them. Every morning I take Russian. We go on, walk over the back there, walk on the big field behind us here. Then we come back this road to the big field on the bottom there. And now the foreigners that are picking these up, and the Chinese, they use them in the cooking and whatever. Pour them on.
Roasted some tonight, Mick.
And yeah, it's using it, kid. I said foreigners though.
Yeah, that's right. We just tried them just tonight. Yeah, well impressed. Yeah, nice.
Up the water there. I ain't had a vermouth.
Yeah. I've never had one before, but we did it just literally half hour ago. Yeah, they're all right.
Something different, eh?
Yep.
Then I've just smashed the shells with that now. I think I should use a knife or something to open them up. How'd you open yours up, Paul? Or just bite into them?
We used to, as kids, I remember having them. You don't take them out the shells. You cook them on with the shell on over the fire, then take the shells off to eat them.
Yeah, all we did was stuck the knife in it, so it released the pressure. Stuck it in the oven, and then they split in half anyway, and then just scrape the innards out. But if you don't pierce them, they'll explode.
Yeah.
Oh, mind day.
Flake the skin off, Mick. That's all you do.
It don't come off whole, look.
Skin off.
It doesn't come off whole.
Pointed end.
Yeah, it should come off whole. We used to put them on the fire as kids and just put them over the fire, heat them up, peel the skins off and eat them hot like that.
I'll knife them next week. Right, Gladys, which are drying out. Now, as you can see, all the soil on the bottom of them, that's dried out. And from last Zoom last week, take the roots off. So that's what I'm doing now as well. So I'm taking all the roots off. In them another week, or we come to on in a bit. Right, once a week or something, or if we get a good storm, he's already putting his shirt on. Obviously, I got to pick all the leaves and rubbish up, and that's what I was doing here. So I've done this bottom bit, and I was working my way up there. Right, now if you remember him, probably I don't know, 6-7 months ago, he was a peach tree I had, and it was full of blossom when I unpacked him. And collecting the leaves up there, I thought, oh, Rose has got a tennis ball in there. And I looked, I thought, that ain't a bloody tennis ball. Not a closer look, bloody peach. Couldn't believe it. Obviously grown inside where I couldn't see him and dropped off, telling me he's bloody ready. So it did work. They told me fruit. So I was chuffed with that. I ate him and all. So I should get some fruit next year. And earlier, because I want it for our show. Right, I'm going to move around while I've got Ben here. Because there's a bit of weight in these. And I don't want to drag them. It'll knacker the bloody what's up. So we did a bit of moving around. So I want him out. I want two. When I had these, I had 2 lots. And that on the second lot, they sent the wrong bloody colour. I complained because I wanted grey. But they said they'd run out. So I'm keeping one colour down here, obviously, and all the grey ones up there because I've got grey stuff. So them 2 are going round there. And he's taking the place there. So that lot will have a move around eventually. So that's where them are going. Talk Lynn into letting me have them up there. In the sense that it'll give you more colour during the growing season. I'll put some plants in now, so you've got colour early as well. So first thing I had to do was level these up, obviously, same as them. So I've done the first one. Now I've got to level them up. Because our garden slopes that road and that road, as you can see. We had a couple of days of dry weather, and then if it does, heavens do, we'll get a bit of drizzle, like it just did then. That's when I can leg it back in the tunnel and do a bit more on there, which is what I do. Or leg it in the greenhouse, or back home. Right, these lot here, all the combs are coming off the shelves now with a little bit of rub, so I'm going to do it off about even more. I'll get another empty tray and move the combs and the comblets into that, meaning there's no soil on them or nothing. And next week, when I get time, I should take all the comblets off and bag them up into the envelopes. And then the combs can go in the garage with the rest of them. And I'll have me little comblets ready. So just working way along. And that's it, I've done the lot. So all them are nice and clean. And there's the last few out of the top raised bed from the top of the garden. And they're still drying off. Well, those 2 beds nice and level. If I remember a couple of weeks ago, mate's missus, all their grandchildren was walking all over them beds. So that's one deterrent. Plus I will do it again, but oh, yes, I'm out. So I've got me more growing space. I'm gonna go in there next year. Might be carrots, might be gladius. Might have to be gladius. We'll soon see. Some will go in the road. Right, ruching up the park. Loves a stick. There's a squirrel. But he's that quick. Come out blurred. But if Rosie is a squirrel, I bloody lost her. Right, that's the height I've had to go up there. Just to get him level. When he is finished, which he is now, I want to get some more of this stuff and just put that over it so it hides it. But both of these are covered. That one's covered in, will be covered in plastic, and that one's covered in tape, meaning it's completely sealed, exactly the same as when I did my raised beds on the plot with my scaffolding boards. Once the timber was dry, completely sealed them so it'll last longer. I'm doing exactly the same with these, so they last longer. Because the bottoms were dropping out of these. Now, if you remember the last long one I had, because I was looking for these online again, because I needed some more for my peas and veg peas and sweet peas. And I couldn't get these at all, and they must have had that many complaints about it because the bloody bottoms drop out because they're elevated off the floor, obviously. But the weight of this compost in there when it's wet, it bows the bottom, and the compost is coming out. So that took them off the market. So I'm going to fight them bugs if I can find the old email where I bought them from. See if I can get my hackers back because they won't ship. That's why I've got to reinforce the bottoms, the bases. So once these are in place, now I've got to empty them. So I've took me straw off that one, and I'm just emptying this one out. Right, that's a photo underneath. You can see there how it's bowing out. That is with the weight. Now obviously he sits flush, and that rim there is supposed to sit flush on the top. Because of the bloody weight of the compost is bowing out. So I've got to put two more struts of wood in there, and then one across or two across there, just to hold that up, to stop it bowing down. So empty them out. That's how he's supposed to be, nice and flush. Obviously he's now because I've took all the weight off it. But with the weight on there, he's just bowing too much. And obviously all the crap's going to go through. If you remember first off, I just put a old wood chip, small wood chip, which we saw on the bottom as drainage. So I've cleaned all around that side. So when I take him off, not much is going to drop through there. So I'll get maybe two struts to go across there and two across the bottom. Now these two are going to go across the bottom. Then I shall wedge underneath them, which whatever thickness I need to bring him up, just to go under him on the right. Put him back on there, see how he is. And that's what I've done. So batten them up. Once I know I've got the right height, then they can come out and I'll seal them with plastic. He's going to go up a bit more. All done. That now is lying flush on the top of my wedge what's underneath. So when he gets filled up again, well, that ain't going to bow. That's going to look after him. So I'll then seal that one with the plastic, and that's one sorted. I've got loads of bits of wood out the loft. Got a bit of work done in the loft. We've had Mrs. had the bathroom done upstairs and all. And we've had lights in the ceiling. So I had to go up the loft and sort that crap out. Meaning I found bits of wood which I thought them will come in. So I brought them down with this as well. I've got old plastic which I used for originally, which I had from the tunnel. Don't throw nothing away. You know it's going to come in soon. So them two are completely sealed. So them are going to go in. So my struts, that one's a obviously thicker one because of that's lower than this one. This was on the afternoon, Tuesday or Wednesday. We had Storm Hemmerdale come through, knocked my line prop over. Good, really. Nearly a catastrophe. Had to go and have a cuppa. So he's sitting now, nice and level. Perfect. Bung him back on. Just about make him out there. One job done. It's a bit of faulty. He ain't gonna bow. Well, just having a quick perv around the garden. Look at that chap there. A weed. How daring. He come out and I found another one. Oh, penny. But everything's still flowering. The sand dune flower, which I call it. Right, starting off on my second one. So I've took the straw off that. Now that lot, I'll go in there. Put my tray so I don't drop nothing in between the stroppers. Before I get onto the bottom rubbish, not rubbish, but little bits of wood chip off some stock. Any good sized worms out, I'll take them out and bung them in the raised bed, top of the garden. Now that looks dry, but I've only gone down a handful depth and there's moisture in there. Let's bung him in. The other chap, he'll get up there as well. This lot's still going in. If I need any extra topping like that, if I'm eating the wood chip now, and I'll put the good stuff in there to finish him off. Then top dressing, put my little netting back on, and my pegs. Now I'm ready for the second one to do him. Just work out there how it has bowed him, and the shape is still in there. Once I put somewhat under him, he'll be alright. Got him out, start putting the other bits of crap in. Just clean all the gum off. Sorted, ready. Please the gaffer. Right, plum tree. Gentlemen, anyway, you should get your missus to check your plums once a week. Why should she? Because, back on him, I thought I took another photo. There's new growth on my plum tree. It's supposed to be getting ready to have a break, and it is still growing. I remember cherry. Last week I had to take flowers off him. And loopy weather. And we're going to have another mould week next week as well. Right, my sugar rush, the wallflower, scented. These were going in the top raised bed. I thought, perfect now for these two raised beds which I just moved. Because that'll keep the Lynn happy. And if Pet's happy, and you can see a bit of colour. Then I've got away with getting them two beds there. So I'm going in there. Once them are in, firmed them in, good watering, and then put my straw back on again. So there's bulbs in this lot to come up early next year. And there's got a bit of colour there as well. Keep the peace. I'm going to start on these three. These have been moved about a bit because doing different things. Alstroemeria, them are the ones I got for Lynn's mate down the road. Just looking after hers over winter. There's one I had earlier on. So he started like one of these halfway through the season. So he's a dwarf. And then I've got my three trailing blackberries. They're ready to go in the greenhouse. We'll do that next week and all. 2 peppers, sweet and chili. There'll be no heat on in here. I'll see if I can keep hold of them for next year. See if we can overwinter them. Right, emptying these. My first one anyway. Still picking my straws and still feeding them because I'm still getting flowers on them. Meaning I'm still going. Still no sign of any frost there. Onions, taters, anything you got in nets or sacks. Check them once a week. Make sure they're nice and solid. Right, as you can see at the bottom here, the bottom layer has still got a bit of wood chip in. Any big lumps, then the wood chips get thrown on the garden, which is just there. Where I get my first tray out, clean all this crap off. I've got my tray underneath just to catch all that lot. But once that is cleared, not take them off. You can't see very well there, but these two are level, and that one there, this end has dropped. It's sunk. So he's sloping that road and that road and all. Luckily, I've got loads of bits of wood. That's what I used last year. It's been taped, so I've got to retape them, the ones that have opened up. But we're revamping. So once I get me level, ease a bit off. It's just about making the bubble in there. I'll put my wedge under. So if he's level there, that wedge is going to go under this corner down here. And he's going to do a bit more, which he has there. So that one is a bit thinner than this one. So he'll be taped up now, and I'll use that one. Just a black tear from Wilco. But it's completely sealed. So he's done. So once he is wedged, then I'll fill him back up. Put my board on, as you can see, that one's higher than this one, so I had to referret that one as well. Obviously thicker down here than that, just to get him nice and level. But he's sitting nice, as he's supposed to on the bottom there now, but he ain't gonna bow. Good old Dave sent me some pea seeds from Chesterfield, plus the write-up which I needed. It's been years since I've grown peas, plus things changed, and this has been updated now, the way I grew, but excellent. We're showing them for our show next year. Thank you for that, Dave. Right, this is in our loft. This is the growing chamber of that. It's worked well, and my light. There's two sides in the back, that's black and white plastic. White side in repel the light and the heat back onto the plants. Soil warming cable underneath. And then a fan here which is on it. But it's done me well over the years. But because the bathroom is under this lot, they needed the floorboards up to get to the lights, put the lights in. And I'll finish with this anyway. I weren't going to use it anymore. So it worked out well in the sense, but I had to leg it up there and dismantle everything. And my mates having my light office. That was covered in sand. That was my soil warming cable underneath the sand, as you can see in there. So I emptied all the sand out. There's some bloody weight on that. And there I got the boards up. It's a good space actually in the loft. You could make another room, bunga window in here. To be a brilliant room. But under there was where they put the lights. They put this shit back on it as well. I thought, no, anyway. That's a soil warming cable. Anybody wants that, let me know. So I've got my boards up now. You can see the size of it. I mean, you've only got to walk over that. There's no bending or nothing. You ain't gonna smack your head on anything. And that's where the lights are going through the ceiling in the bathroom. So I've cut all the crap away so nothing's touching them, just in case it gets bloody hot or something. I thought that made common sense. And the vent, which has come straight out, and it's just left there, blowing in the loft. They bung that outside the sod door. While I was up there, I found these. Been using these years ago when I did talks or exhibitions local. I thought, well, I ain't seen them for youngs, so let's take them back downstairs. So I did. Opened a couple of them up. The National Village Show 2006, that was Dave Gordon Bennett. Seems bloody years away. That was a Midland Region weigh-in, obviously one league. Calcabby, Derby, and Titmarsh was our compare with the auction. Good day was. That's what I meant, Dave. So it worked out well in more ways than one. This was a final at High Grove Charlie's place. I should have won that. Chris Beardsmore, that was a Cardiff Spring show. I used to do talks down there that don't exist anymore. That's finished. No, that's Tony Buckland. That's Chris Beardshaw. Getting them mixed up. That's it all. That's Chris. That's Tony. That was a Q&A we did for Gardner's Click. I was in that for a while. That was a display we put on. Was it Collingate Garlic Club or the allotments? Yeah, Cradley Garlic Club. That's what we started off. Cradley Royal British Legion Garlic Club. Then when the Legion finished, it was just Cradley Garlic Club. Then we changed to Collingate Garlic Club. So that was a display of veg we put in at Morven. We got a second there, so I was chuffed with that. These lot, look, we got a big lounge so we can bung them out on the floor and open them up. This was the allotments for disabled. I needed a project, I was getting bored, so I needed to be the ground of the council. It took me 2.5 years. 2009, all ground obtained from the council to extend our allotment site. So our main gates to the allotment. And just over the other side of that edge and going that way. So all this was derelict anyway, sort of with it. So first thing I had to do was get it cleared. Once we got the fencing up, then I could make an entry into that way. So our locker rooms here, so I cleared that lot out and then cut through this fencing. So there was our way in. I was bunging one of the tunnels up. Jason, you'll get here there, mate. But we had some decent weather. Get them up. Because this ground, just to scoop all the crap off, which they did, lost a bit of ground, but it was still good soil anyway. But then I had to get a tractor in because it was solid and just plough it. And then that's all the timber for the raised beds. That one's for the walking disabled, which is up here, and this is the wheelchair disabled. He was a chap who we got in just put the weight in for him. We had 4 water butts, 3 dip tanks at the top and 1 at the bottom. See, I've just started putting the raised beds in that side for him. This is the wheelchair side, so we had to get it obviously levelish as we could. So that was putting the boards out, ready to take the tarmac. So that's the first layer going. Once that was sealed, you put the top piece on. So when the beds was done, they could reach the middle of the raised bed without getting out of the wheelchair, and it worked well for them. So they got 5 raised beds and 1 inside the tunnel, and then the same with the walking disabled. So the top layer has been put on there, it's absolutely tarmac. 3 boards high. They could just reach over and reach the middle without getting off the seat, which is perfect for them. Because they got to have a nice run, flattish run. We had to build this up as well, so that tarmac up to there. And because we've got the old door we had on the toilet block, we had to replace that, get it wider for wheelchair access, which is better because that was a steel door. It was more solid than the one that was on there originally. And all the raised beds in my allotment, I cost me 65 quid for a roll of chicken wire. But there was that much on there. took 4 adults to pick the wrong chicken wire up. That's how heavy it was. But I did all my raised beds, all the disabled plots, and all the casual and garden plots, raised beds. Chicken wire on the bottom, so the mole wouldn't get in, nick all the worms. He took some filling, but we eventually got there. So did these first because I'd got somebody to take this on. I was still looking at this time then for the walking disabled. There's loads of people about who've got learning difficulties, but it's transport, finding somebody with transport. This is the first, is this Jim's tunnel? Yeah. Both tunnels at the other end, obviously this is the door end looking through here. The other end were knitted, and that was meshed as well, so you've got ventilation. I put both of them a grapevine in, obviously planted outside, coming inside, and now them both are doing really superb. So another raised bed in the middle for them, because we got room on the sides. I raised them as well, so then there's loads of room around here, walking or wheelchairish. So just utilise the beds itself. Get in there slowly. I've got 2 benches for the walking disabled, and the raised bed started from there. There's a couple of fruit trees here as well, and all up the side there. But eventually, Dudley Green team I had, and they used to love it down here. They used to spend the day here, and that's where they'd have the dinner, the picnic. And if it fiddled down, they'd just leg it in the tunnel, then come out again after. But they loved it. Fresh air, all beat it, and doing something which they enjoy. And these enjoyed it at all. So that's what nearly 22 grand I got lottery funded money. Took me 2.5 years to do. I enjoyed doing it, but I wouldn't do it again. PC Brigade, health and safety. Nah, stick it up your arse. But a big lottery fund was 500. Dudley area committee 1,105. Co-op. If you've got a co-op in your town, you can get money off them if you do projects. Just go and have a word with them. I've had 2 lots of them now for our allotment. Well, not our allotment, but disabled allotments, and the kids of Caslon. They dish out quite a bit of money. So them like, I can see where they went to, fencing, pathways, whatever, water supply. One of the problems with these as well, you get a quote. By the time it was cleared by one of these, the bloody price had gone up again, and they ain't quick enough. I know what I'm doing. All I need is a yes or no. Why does it take bloody 3 months to come back? Anyway, it's done now. But I enjoyed doing it. And this was the green team from Dudley. That was 2. I'm still going now, looking after them. And I'm still following them on their Facebook. But the lads loved it when they come down. Caslon Primary School. I used to have the kids down to our allotments. Each class had a raised bed. Each kid had 2 foot by 4 foot. They could grow what they wanted to grow. And then the PC Brigade, health and safety stepped in, stopped the kids coming down. So I asked the Ed if I could do a full allotment on the school ground. He said yes. So I had 5 grand of Azo in the area committee. And I did a tunnel, just raised beds down the bottom, see the orchard. Greenhouses going here, whatever. So it's 2, 4, 6 raised beds at the bottom. Then my tunnel coming up. Exactly the same again. We wired all those beds as well. And this is looking from the other tunnel back up. So this was their orchard bit. They've got 3 compost bins here. There was canes for runners. They got water butts catching every drop of water. Got a wormery there. That was an outside frame for strawberries and baskets. Then there was a lean-to in the sheds. So the lean-to's outside this shed. That was the original one then. The vandals kept the doors off, but I just kept the frame. We used to do trials in there like a bale of hay. And just waited out in the middle with nitrogen and used to start cooking and grow stuff in that. That was a room starting up. Sylvia Eel used to be Deputy House Speaker of the House of Commons. Because I live local, I got her to come and open it. I shouldn't bother in the end. That was the headmaster. While I was doing the gardening club, I think I saw 7 different headmasters. That's how long I was doing the kids' gardening club for. All these now are in the teens, 20s or whatever. It was gobbling off for about 10 minutes. So I went round the back, done some weeding. I knew I shouldn't have had should have had one of the kids to do it. That was a bug hotel we made between us. Just looking after nature. Look at the little horrors. I loved it. I got to take something to with them every time. We had some good days there, weather-wise. If you did piddle down, we used to leg it in the tunnel and work in there. Well, that was our office anyway, working from the tunnel. And the raised bed in the tunnel was our workbench. But most of the time, I got the caretaker, Mark, he was a good lad. He'd give us some old school tables, and we had them outside. We used to work outside on the benches. Yeah. Caslon Primary School is up here. No road to cross over, nothing. Straight down our road, this our allotments. Meaning we'd had some osmog delivered on site, and I just dragged the kids down. I shouldn't have done. Was that they should have helmets, goggles, eye-vis, jackets, bloody gloves and everything on. Well, they would have had to come down anyway. I thought, sorry, we need some muck. So this is how much school ground they've got. It's brilliant in this sense because our allotment's down the bottom. And we've got Crayley Town Football Club. That's where we have the show now and our meetings. And then Caslon Primary School. So this is surrounded around by a field. So there's one roadway on that side. There ain't much traffic go up there. But the ground they've got is superb. There's a 5-a-side court. Behind me where I've took this photo is a full-size football pitch. Because I run the kids' football team there and all. But there's the allotment. And we've got the biggest waiting list for after school activity. Because it was only 50 pence for an hour and a quarter per kid. If the parents got a little horror, and they think, bloody hell, Mick will look after Ben Turpin for 50 pence. I'll bung him down. But I used to look at the rough uns. And straight away, first time there, I'd just threaten them anyway. I says, right, you watch what I do, because in a minute you're going to take 5 of them and do exactly what I've just shown you. And it works. Probably the first time he's ever been asked to do anything, or he's got somebody under him or whatever. And it did work. I think there's only 2 I had to kick out to threaten them. But these lot were that excited, that hyper to get going. Which are called berry kids anymore, also they take them to a tree. So I used to send them out collecting molehills. By the time they come back with 2 buckets, has to fill the raised beds or compost. I'm knackered, I'm coping with them then. But they loved it. I had them exhibiting everywhere, at our show, Malvern. I was trying to get the kids when I was on the NVS Midland branch, trying to get the kids active down there, because I was Midland schools rep, supposedly. Paul, yes, man.
That'd be a picture to see now. You stood next to Josh.
I know. I ain't seen him for. I ain't seen him. He's got to be huge.
He's about 6'8" now, I think.
I know
Yeah,
he's
and maybe about 24 stone. Yeah.
Oh, he has. He's got to be
He's
huge.
massive.
Where do you see him then?
Well, he's Ryan's cousin, like, isn't he? So our Becca, being with Ryan, like, we see him quite often.
Oh.
Yeah, he's going to be a dad soon as well.
Oh, Pet says, it's something.
Yeah.
Tell Ryan to give me regards next time I see him.
Hey?
Tell Ryan to give Josh me regards next time now.
Oh, will do. Yeah, yeah.
Good man.
Yeah.
But this was down Mary Stevens Park. This was doing a composting demo with Dudley Council. But I used to get them doing everything. But loved it. Caslon kids picked up their awards. That was Womban annual show. That upset the regulars who used to win things. Because they made a little class just for the kids on the spot. So they didn't embarrass them who they would have beat. Sesh show come first with a collection of veg. All grown on the school grounds. That was our show. Colgate Garden Club. Getting produce ready for the show. That was Womban show again. That's what upset the locals. Better than there. Garden Organic went down there. What's this, 208? Bloody Nora. Prince Charles was there. So 3 times I've met him, not 2. This was a controversy. Schools competition. School-grown produce, we came last. Why? The judges wouldn't believe that the kids grown these on the school grounds. We took photos, as you can see there, for proof, because I've had this crap before, and we just had a little certificate and that was it. So I fell out with Garden Organic as well. Like stick it up our ass. Quite a few people have fallen out there. Right, back to my roof. Because the boards have got to go back on top of here. The new wiring they put in. I don't want the board because I do go up there regular. So I'm just making some hollow places. Hello Rosie, come up. Bunging my boards back down. Obviously old bits of carpet I put on top of them. If them are loose, then I'll just bung one nail in so it stops them rattling. So just one bit of carpet I've got to get now. Don't forget that's where my little growing cabinet was. So I didn't need carpet under there. Well, I just wait for the dry weather. I see a skip outside the house, I'll just go and see if there's any carpet in. Go and ask him if I can borrow some. So if anybody wants any soil warming cables, on your let me. But the good thing about a light, I just had it on a hooks, obviously. And then if I need it lower or higher, I just bung it up on the chain. I mean, bits of timber are in there drying off if I need to sew them and cover them ready for me, the raised beds. Right, Russian. If it has a number 1 or number 2, if it has a number 2, I always look at it, make sure it's nice and healthy. There's one during the week, there's blood in it. So we rang the vets up. Obviously, they could get in straight away. If you think it's major, then you go to Wolverhampton, otherwise we get you in tomorrow. So this was tomorrow. And basically, it picked something up on the field even just licking something, which another dog had not, then had caught it straight away. And basically, they've been sick and with this crap as well. But it has now cleared up. 95 quid later, it was same as having kids in it. Part of the family, look after them. Plus, while I was there, I spent about the fireworks. We got Eid again this weekend. Yesterday and tonight, and last night, the bloody fireworks going off again. Plus, I left here. I said, while I'm here, so I left here, I don't like people touching it. And all it did was lift both ears and smell. I said, there's no infection, otherwise I'd smell something. And them little bibbles which are catches in the long grass, they stick to the fur. So there ain't one of them in says now, and I'd be scratching with a paw. I said, well, no, never does that. I said, no, it's the breed as well. But we had these, bought this, reading up about the thunder shirt, or thunder jacket, whatever you call it. But we had this one for Russian, and because we knew it was Eid yesterday, we heard one firework go off, and heard it in the background, but we weren't that close. I thought, right before it gets any worse, I'm going to bung this jacket on her. Basically, that goes around the neck, so that ties up Velcro. And then this here, the back on that one, so that one goes around the waist. So her head comes up here, that goes around the neck. And then these, you pull it tight, put that one on. And then this one, there's Velcro under there as well. And you can stretch it even more now. So it's really tight on it. And that's how it works. And it did its job. I don't leg it out of the room. It stays in between us on a little bed. And it done wonders. So that was worth having. During the week, met Steve and Lynn down, watching some stuff out of the shed. I think this was Friday come. But good to see them two again. Nice sunny day. Right, this was 2 days after the last photo. So much has grown in 2 days. So I'm hoping another couple of weeks he's going to leg it down here. Chap's doing well. Cutting all the old crap off, my straws, i.e. dead leaves and whatever. Don't need them. The nice combs I got up out the raised bed and they're drying off nicely. And there's my first leaf off the grapevine. I can remember in the tunnel on the allotment, obviously at the end of the year, all the leaves have fell off. But there's just one leaf come off now, which tell me it's still growing, but it's an older leaf as well, one of these down here. So I want to get at least another 2 foot of the length of these coming across the roof before they have a break for winter. I mean, I'm 2/3 way across. So I'm pleased so far with them two. Right, anybody local or not local want to wear to, but only for day, but you don't need it now. So anybody wants him, let me know and you can have him. Even got a tap on him. This was yesterday down our sheds. I'm down there yesterday and they get down again next week. I always put it on Facebook when I'm viewing, and quite a few come down, buy a bit of stuff and just go out for a natter. Then I was weighing out lime. And then you got Mick, Nora and Lynn. Put a bit of stuff off. The sun come out and all. Nice bit of sun. Still got loads of compost ready for next year. Trestles, which I meant, they need them. We never use the 2 marquees. So I just had to bung up them to the old shed one of the days. Right, another dollop of photos. Let's have a curve of them. That's all from mate who passed away on me, and Colin. So that's them two there. What I started doing with these two, I think we had two shows where I got these two together. Obviously Midland branch, BBC Gardeners World, BBC Gardeners World Line that was. But I was trying to get them, instead of having just an exhibition at veg, I wanted to do educating the public, i.e. compost corner bit, and a kids section, getting kids to pick out seedlings or whatever. I wanted to get that spread to the whole of the MVS for a day work. I've got no help from our lot, so I ain't going to get it done elsewhere. John Singleton, that was, we used to get all our stuff off him, but I've done talks for him and demos. And he treated us well. Then he died on me and all. That was BBC Gardeners World Live. We've just been in there, Big Boys Marquee, good lad he is. Why? Because he bloody spoke to us. Once he done come in, did me and Colin a dirty look, and that's the kitchen stuff, why we were in there. People wonder why I don't like the twat. And you wrote up. He come straight in. So looked at our badges, National Veg Society, Midland Branch, shook our hands, asked us what we was doing. Good lad. Let's move that up. My right hand man, Colin, getting this ready. Edible Garden Show, Alexander Palace. Edible Garden Show used to be at Stoneleigh, Warwickshire. James Wong ran that. And I talked at the Edible Garden Show at Stoneleigh twice on behalf of the MBS. Free talks with James Wong. So he owes me a pint. And this is Alexander Palace. Because he lived in London, it was too much of a hassle to go up to Stoneleigh in Warwickshire. So he moved it to Alexander Palace. The building's beautiful, first time I'd ever been in, and that's where this was. And then obviously it was cost and everything. He packed that in. Oh, that's it there. Edible Garden Show at Stoneleigh Park. So that's where we started. It's what I mean about educating the public. It's compost corner there. And we got on that one, but years after, when the kids' corner, was like two signs, make compost corner, kids' corner, and it'd just be seedlings where the kids could prick out their own, whatever they wanted, tomato, sweet pepper or chili pepper, and then take it with them. But that were to be anyway. Me and our Cole. Right, I saw our little mate when I went down. He's still there. I broke his web last time, but I got a better picture this time. Look at that. Corker, eh?
It's a cracker, that one, Mick.
Yeah. If you'd have showed me a photo of him, said, that's what you got outside, I'd have said, no way. But chuffed with that photo. Right, I've got me 2 bits of timber, and they work. One in there, he's already covered. Lying flat, perfect. And boards, I've only got to press and I can feel straight away, meaning when there's weight on that, I'm going to hit them boards. I'm not going to bend. So then I lift them out and tape them. Charlie Dimmock, I don't watch it, but it was on and I was walking past. I think they paid $3.5 grand for this back cording, and this was going to be thrown away. And I says, we're going to throw it away, use it again. He said it looks perfect. I thought it looked crap. Jesus, well, I'm getting too old or what? And you're older. Potting grit from the shed, instead of me wood chip, that's what I use on the bottom for drainage. Meaning when this is full and the roots go through all that crap, roots are still going to be looked after because that's going to be moist anyway. And it's better than having lumps of wood chip. So then I'm having a foot between the two beds. I can walk down there and turn around easily. That's what I had for this year with my gladdies in there, and I could get down quite easily. Because my gladdies are each got a cane up and holding them upright. So I'm just sorting them out down there. Must have started piddling again. Nigel, get us a mensch during the week. Onion trial. With the new increase in cost of energy rising, I'll be trialing growing onion seeds over winter without using heat lights. Now, I've done tough ball before, which is you can get away with them without heat. I've done that. That's what I call tough ball. Vento. Dave, I don't know whether you've used them without heat before or not, but that's one trial Nigel's doing in their own. Only 2 more Prime Ministers till Christmas. What a load. Dave sent me a few photos in. Pot leeks potted up, Mike Wood #1 and #2 and the blues. Dave's only growing for eating now. He's backed in growing for show. Mother plant off #1 and bred the #2. That's a leek and a half in it. Chris Evans, I don't know whether you're on tonight or Neil. I've never heard of this chap. Spencer's arrived at #10 to take control. Thank you for that, Dave. Rowley. Right, before I forget, Rowley, your wine recipe from last week. I'll get my book back tomorrow. I forgot I'd lend it out, so I'll send it you in the post. Do you want to go through these, Rowley?
I'll turn the volume on. You might better talk to me. Yeah.
Good man.
This first picture was going on from last week with the anthills for the soil. That's the first one I took. You click through to the next one then as well, mate. Yeah, there they are. I looked them up. What they calling them is yellow meadow ants. I did send you another picture. They're all over the country, and it is neglected pasture where they're not being grazed hard enough, where these ants come from. So it was just a follow-up. I was curious to find out what they actually were, were they a special ant, but they're not as common as muck. And, all over the country, even on national, whatever it is, properties. That's where the other picture came from. But that's all it was, just to follow up on the anthills, not molehills job.
Never heard of them.
Yeah. Well, nor had I till I looked at.
Yeah.
This, my #2 son, in age, not for any other reason, when he's moved house, I mean, it'll interest quite a few people, this food, perhaps. He decided in his back garden, because he likes his koi carp and he always wants a pond and a summer house and all the rest of it. So here we go, digging his back garden up to put a pond. So it's a few pictures of the progress. It's all up and working now anyway, and has been for sort of 2 years now. But I thought I'd put this together just to fill the bit up. As you can see, he's just digging out, and that conifer, in actual fact, is growing up through the middle of the.
They're all through the roof.
Up through the roof. Well, you cut it down now, but basically, that I don't know what they do call it. I would say it's a summer house, but it's an excuse. The bar's in there, so it's an excuse for a pee-up house, I think.
Could have been a tree house.
Yeah. Oh, it could have been, but he had a few conifers out to make space for it and all that, and that's him in there with a level where they got people with all the thelodolites sent in his levels and things. Yeah, carry on, Mick.
That's a back garden and a half, isn't it?
Well, he's got about 5 acres with his house.
Bloody hell.
and he bought the house, and he runs his business from there. He's got a flat roofing business, and of course they keep all the material on site. Where at one time, before he actually bought that house, he'd got sort of containers all the way around the village, and they decided that what they was going to do was to buy a house, move in, and then run the business from it. So they bought the house, then he decided to exchange his wife. So she kept the old house and he kept the new one. And 2 years later, he decided to marry another one. So if you carry on, you'll perhaps see some more.
Does he like the taste of wedding cake?
Yeah, well, he's on his third one, so.
My wife's number 3. I like the taste of wedding cake as well.
Yeah. Oh dear. He probably does say that. He'd say that anyway. I mean, he's done a runner now, so he can't.
Got it with me on the bed.
Yeah. Like I say, that's another picture of him in there. Probably got a can of Guinness in his hand, knowing him, down in the hole. But they're scratching out to get the levels because there's all, well, I don't know what they were, like plastic bread box things turned upside down, and all pipes and stone and all the rest of it put in the bottom because it's a massive filter on the bottom of the pond because of his koi carp, like, you know. Carry on then, mate.
That's a pond and a half, isn't it?
Oh, you'll see the full size of it in the later pictures. There, sort of one view of it when it's finished. You can see he's got all his decking out front of it, and obviously got the roof on it by then. And it's all done with different margins and what have you. He did have a lot of, well, I went and picked them up from a specialist place the other side of Bedford. All sort of canners that were set in the margins, but they didn't winter very well in there, so he took them all out again. But all you like canner people will see what he's got further down the line, I think.
Yeah, really.
Carry on with. Yeah, so that's just a picture of some of his koi carp. What I'd done out of curiosity one year, while he was, in actual fact, looking at that, that's a picture of them in the holding tank, because you can see the blue bits around the edge, right? And what I'd done there was I got a soil pipe, drilled some holes in it, put some little pots in it, and we actually pumped the water out of there through and grew lettuce and tomatoes in the pipe, purely like aquaponics, if you like, just for the hell of it, to see what happened. So that's the best picture as such. So I've got of his koi carp, but obviously they're in the pond now. Carry on, Nick, please. That's the waterfall. Obviously, to circulate the water, it sucks up through the filters and goes through and tumbles down. And he's had all manner of things trying to get rid of the algae that sticks on the waterfalls. They have a crane in there to lift all the rocks. I don't know how many tons of rocks you reckon he had at one time to make all the waterfall and all the way around the pond. But it cost him an arm and a leg to do it, but there it is.
Nice.
Tree fern wouldn't come cheap in the background, the Dixonia Antarctica. Yeah,
well, what he's been doing is he spent thousands on the thing, but there's a place down near Nebworth Way somewhere that actually imports all the ferns and he's got trees in there with the roots outside of the trunk, whatever they're called. I have no idea, I will say that now, I have no real idea of the names of any of these plants. You know, I'm all right on carrots and potatoes, but sort of exotic ferns and things, I have no idea at all. Next one then, Mick, please. Yeah, of course, it's all illuminated as well with all different coloured lights all the way around. But you can see there to the left, in the middle, to the left of the waterfall, there's one of them trees with like the roots on the outside. They're like air roots on the outside. Whatever that's called, I have no idea at all. Yeah, I don't know whether, you know, you can see the various types of ferns and things he's got in there. Yeah, next one then, Mick. I don't know what they are now. See, different different views of it at night. You can see more towards the sides of the pond there, and obviously he's put all his water lilies out and everything. But these pictures are about 12 months old, and obviously it's healed up and sort of grown on a bit since then. Yeah, next one, if there is any more. More or less, you know, like I say, the people that know could, you know, you can say what sort of ferns and things there are there, can't they? But it does look nice, and he has grafted on it to get it done. And he had his wedding there as well, so he's the main reasons for getting it all done with all the lightings was this last wedding was there, and since then he's had I don't know, he's done a big Halloween party there, and obviously there was one for the Queen's Jubilee, and I don't know what other else ones are in. There's been several parties with, you know, a couple of 100 people turn up to them. But next one then, mate.
What is he, a bank robber?
No, a roofer.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got quite a successful roofing business. He puts flat roofs on hospitals and hotels and schools and all manner of things like that. He done all the air bases up the A1 there in Huntingdonshire for some company or other. But he's always, well, at times he has 30 blokes working for him, like, you know. They do well. They graft and pays them very good money for them that work, and that's how it's done. It's been built up. But the funny thing is, he used to be, or he's done his apprenticeship as a men's hairdresser. So hairdressing and roofing, perhaps all the same. You know. But well, that's that last picture of them ant hills. As you can see, it says Coombe Hill. Coombe Hill is out in the Cotswolds somewhere, I believe.
It's knackered the field up in it, bloody hell.
Yeah, well, that's what I say. They say it's poor grazing or under grazing or something. Don't you say on there? Wildflowers and animal insects. And one of the other bits I read, it said about under grazing them. Where I've got them or had them in one field, and I've sort of dragged the topper over it a couple of times, they've decided to move on and go somewhere else. So, you know. Anyhow, there's a few pictures for me to fill a couple of minutes up.
Austin.
Cheers.
Cheers, Rowley.
Okay, no worries.
Good man. You have to bear with us then. So move on next photo. Put in Rosie's thunder coat on. Bloody fireworks going off. Anyway, Jeffrey, are you on or not?
Only fireworks, isn't it?
Eid, innit?
Yeah.
Eid weekend.
They're letting them off down our way as well.
Yeah. They're crapping us off here. Jeffrey, are you on? That means no, so I'll talk your way through it, what I can. Right, he mentioned his sweet taters to us last week. I think he's done 3 trials. So these are his sweet taters here, as those who have grown them, you can tell by the leaf. Same family as convolvulus. One lot has got up with so that's one lot there. Obviously, that's another one, a different colour. I can't tell you what strains was here, but them have done better than them. That looks similar to the colour I did and all, but there's quite a bit of meat on them that he got up.
I think what you got to remember is sweet potatoes this year has been an extreme summer, and a normal summer you wouldn't grow them quite as well.
Yeah. And them and that. Different ones to them, as you see by the colour. I don't know whether he's had his beds, although the leaves would be a blanket over them.
You said to me, Mick, that they were completely in the shade, those plants.
Oh. It's okay, Rosie.
done pretty well considering everything in the shade.
He's put that on and all. Don't fiddle on your, or you'll have your watches cut off.
Yeah.
It's a good side, I suppose. Does it work as a deterrent? You can't explain that, was he, are you? Now, he did tell me he's going to plant a couple of them up as a trial, just to see what happens. So obviously he's just put some muck in the bottom and muck it there. Put some shoots in, green bits at the top, and just topped up with topsoil. And obviously that's got to be in a shed, or you wouldn't have that in his tunnel, would you? I don't know, a greenhouse. So that's going to be frost free. That's just a trial. Thank you for those, Jeffrey. Well, I'm in a group, a few groups. Ours are in here and now and whatever. And this was one of the bandstand. Most places had bandstands years ago. Starbridge have still got theirs, it's still in use. This was ours, Owen. There's flats on there now. But me and the kid went to Asby Church School, which is just over the back here. We started there as kids, obviously. And mother was a dinner lady there. That's why we used to get extra $1 I think gravy on our dinner. But when we was at the school, so that was early 60s, me and our kid ran away from school. I think it was the first two kids that ever to run away from a primary school. Basically because fair, they wouldn't let us have any fireworks. Irrelevant. This was still there, but it was derelict, meaning the top was missing all that crap, but you could still get underneath. The opening was still there, so me and our kid legged it in there, and all the wenches in our class at school, when they'd finished school, they all legged it back on and nicked the mother's coat to put round us because it was cold and it was getting dark. And before it did get dark, we basically crapped ourselves. So we started walking back on the Starbridge Road. And this cop car pulled up and Fairther was in it. And the cops had to stop Fairther from knocking 10 bells of shit out on us. But just a little update there on our local bandstand. Paul. He's a good looking bugger, isn't he? Paul, do you want to talk through your photos?
Yes, Mick.
Console my heart, Rosie.
This I went up the allotment yesterday. This is still growing well in the greenhouse. It's got to be, it must be 4.5 foot, 5 foot tall. This head. It's supposed to be what's called that penis chili.
Or Peter Pepper.
Peter Pepper or something like that, yeah. But it's nothing like it, so
No.
I've really no idea what it is, but that was the seed that I bought. But it's a really prolific plant, and as you can see, how many chilies are on it and how healthy it is. Just going to see how long it keeps going, to be honest. I haven't took any off yet and tried them, so I don't know how warm they are. But Paul asked if I'd take a picture of it last time I spoke to him, and there it is. But say it's got to be 4.5 foot tall. It's massive. But yeah. So that's that.
Fresh dark green, healthy leaves.
Yeah. It's doing fine. Dahlias are still. They're still flowering okay. Plenty coming on them. I reckon within the next 2 or 3 weeks, they'll. I noticed there's a load up at Ken's as well, up the road from us. I noticed he's still got loads there. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our new chap, isn't it? There.
Yeah, that's the Destiny's teacher. Yeah, they say it was the first year for them plants, so I'm hoping they'll be better and stronger next year.
Yeah.
There's the anchor in the background, the one you can see sticking up. There's one single one there on its own. That's really nice and strong. That's a honker rose. And then I can't remember. Western Pirate. Sorry, that is. The red one at the back is Western Pirate. That's a nice, it's a nice small cactus, that is. They're a nice flower. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with what's going on.
Good.
Yeah.
Cheers for them, Paul.
All right.
Good man. Nick Mon,
Hello.
all yours, my man.
Okay. I think it's about two or 3 weeks ago. So not growing big onions this year. Decided not to, having a year off after I don't know how many years. So trying to get away a few weekends and visit different places that I haven't been able to do due to growing onions. So we went to the Eden Project 2 or 3 weeks ago. Amazing place. I think these are random photos. They've got two big domes. One is the Mediterranean and one is the tropical. The tropical takes about 45 minutes to walk around. Absolutely, mind-blowing, actually. I expected all of you been there and visited, but I visited and was well impressed. Quite expensive, although actually worth it. I think it was £36 each. But you get a year pass, so the plan is to go sort of May, June, when everything is in full bloom, growing. But this is in middle of October, so it ain't looking too bad. Next one, Mick. Yeah, so this is the Mediterranean you walk up through. This is the smaller dome. You walk through to the left. They got a cafe over to the right, which you can't see, and everything is just flowering. It's amazing how they keep the temperature controlled. If you look outside, which I never took any pictures of, they've got lots of heating and cooling and all automated. Amazing. Next one, Mick. Oh.
So have you got the picture on there now? Yeah?
Yeah?
So I've got the Rosie on my lap. It was just jumping around like a blue house.
Right.
Rosie.
So they've also got another area, which is an area of sculpture. This is just I don't know what it is, to be honest. I did read about it, but that's the wife looking at it. It's just a big, egg. Don't know, but quite impressive, to be fair. Next one, Mick. And then again, I think this is in the tropical side. So as you walk through the place, you start at the bottom of the dome and you work your way up through levels. And the higher you get, the hotter it gets. And I couldn't believe I had not something similar to this on. And the time I got to the top, I was just pouring with sweat. It's very humid. They go from West Africa to all over or tropical West Indies and all the rest of it. So, yeah, next one, Mick. And there's a picture of it. So on the left is tropical, on the right is the Mediterranean, and they're just on the bottom of the screen. You'll see that they're putting in an ice rink. I think they do that for the Christmas period. But yeah, next one, Mick. And again, that sort of high level you can see in the UK. In the UK, to grow stuff like that is just incredible. Next. I think this has been, people can probably tell me, I think this Eden project's been going for 20-something years. Something like that, I think. Sure, it was like 20 years ago, but now it's pretty amazing. And it must take some looking after as well, to be fair.
What's it close to down there?
It's close to, where am I trying to think? Lou, Fowey. So it's about from me, Mick. I think you're about 120 miles from me. It's 110 miles from me down into Cornwall. It's quite a way, but it is worth the trip, definitely.
Yeah.
Next one. That's Fowey. That's Fowey, not Fowey. Fowey. So we stayed in a hotel. where I took the picture. Actually, you face the river mouth. It's quite a small place. Few restaurants and bars. There's a ferry that takes you from where I am across to the other end. So yeah, definitely. I wouldn't recommend it for a long stay, but an overnight stay, it's very nice. There's another picture of it. There's the ferry bridge that takes you over to the other side. And next bit. And then just some general pictures of some flowers and palm trees, whatever they are. Next one. And there's a picture of the domes. Yeah, or half of the domes, I should say. Like I said, it takes about 45 minutes to go around this. If you look at the bottom of the dome, you actually travel up and around, up and around, up and around, and you reach the top of the dome, and it gets bloody hot. And Mick, on the left-hand side, you'll see a zip. You see like a piece of rock on the left sliding down. That's it. So at the top there, they actually do a zip slide from there. That's it, up the top. They do a zip slide from up there, I think, right the way across the complex. It's the longest and fastest zip slide in the UK. Wanted to go in there, I didn't, but maybe next time. Next one.
You could have got some good photos doing that.
Yeah, I should have done really, but yeah, there's a picture of the wife admiring. These are the house plants, in fact. Yeah, that's it says house plants. They're similar to the house plants we grow in the UK, but very prolific and look very well. Next one. Again, it's you don't realise when you're walking down from where you park and you walk into the place, you think those domes, they're not very big, but
those your onions.
I can't remember what that is, Mick. Now, they're not big enough. Can't remember what it is. Something growing there, but I can't remember. But yeah, amazing place. Next one. Again, so here's the Mediterranean, which would be more as in Spain, Portugal, Greece, around the European climates. It's a bit smaller, but very good. Okay.
Bougainvillea.
Yeah. There's just some pictures of the domes. Next one. What is these palm trees? In fact, the pictures were just taken randomly on my phone. I didn't purposely take them to put onto here, but every plant looked amazingly healthy, and there's birds running around, with birds about, and insects, and yeah, all of that. Yeah.
A canna in it.
Yeah, that's it. And there's some sugar cane. Bearing in mind it's mid-October, this stuff they got growing in is incredible. The cost to keep the heat going at night must be to keep it that healthy that time of year must be immense. No wonder it's 36 quid a head. But anyway, next one. And there's a picture of so it's not just the domes. You've got like the whole place was built in a quarry. It was built in a quarry, and you've got what you're looking at there is it goes right the way around to your left and all the way to the right. It's amazing. They've not just got the domes. They've got they grow all fruit. They grow all vegetables all the year round. So it's as I said, it might be expensive, but I think they use quite a lot of voluntary staff who are retired to look after it. Otherwise, I don't think it'd be sustainable, to be fair.
No.
Next one. Ignore that one, Mick. That was a mistake. That's bamboo. Now, it's a shame I didn't put a picture
next to it.
Yeah, the mist is next to it. That bamboo is as thick as my leg, and I'm not a thin guy. It's huge. And I read something there. I never took the picture. It grows I think they cut it down quite regularly. I think it grows something like in the prime of the sunlight and the heat, and when it's right, it grows something like 1 meter a day.
Yeah. Good.
Incredible stuff. Yeah, huge. Next one. There's me in front of the domes. Next one. Another picture of the outside of it. Like I said, a lot of gardens to walk around. I think if you go and visit, it's probably a half a day, not a whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice place. And again, Mick.
Having a nice sunny days.
Yeah, lovely.
That makes all the difference.
I think, next one, don't worry about that one. You see the cafe, that's why I took it, actually. There's a cafe there, over there.
Oh, well.
A restaurant place where you can have something to eat. But, yeah, it's the domes again. And what I did take note of was the chili plants. I took a few pictures, actually. Basket of Fire, Stumpy. I never heard of Stumpy.
No,
I know what it looks like, but so the chilies in there were amazing. They didn't grow them; they just grow them in the ground. And I think if you go to the next one, Mick, that where you can see that plant, it's a New Mix Twilight, which I've grown in pots. This was grown in the ground, and it probably went about 1 meter. Zoom out, Mick. You can see all the way up through to the top left-hand side, all the way down. That has grown all the way down through there, which is, pretty prolific, to be fair. Next one. Again, there you go. There's another picture of it as a loco. So a loco, you grow in a pot. They've grown it in the ground, and it's just spread everywhere. And they've got, smaller chilies. Next one. Again, peppers and chilies. I was really impressed in the Mediterranean how that time of year that how healthy the plants looked. They had tomato. And finally, there's my stock onions. I'm not growing big onions this year, but I'm trying to keep hold of a few. This was a couple of weeks ago, so they've been stripped back quite a bit more since then. And I'll probably set them in some soil in about 4 or 5 weeks' time as they start to rot away. That's it, I think, Mick.
Cheers, Boston.
Nice one, Nick.
Thank you.
Cheers for them, Nick, mate. Somebody, I don't know what it's called, when they do something to put your name in it. You're a nudge or something, I don't know. But I don't know, and I've never heard of this Sunray Recycle. Well, I must have liked the page or anything to do with composting. I'd like it. But basically, as a composter, if we go on to the next photo, that's why I got the link, because it had put my name in. And basically, cracking the thing about having a wormery. Follow the Compost King. He's a lovely gentleman, Gordon Bennett, that knows his Osmuk. Osmuk. Is that how you spell Os? Am I spelling Osmuk wrong? But London, these are from Recycle Kingston. So when I've got time, I'm going to have a look into it. I think it recycles plastic and stuff like that. But it's got to be into, it's got a plot anyway. I've been just recycling compost for some reason, but interesting. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago I mentioned how Ben was doing, he went and saw the gaffers, the big boys, Dudley Council, and he's doing their Christmas cards for them. And I says, while I'm there, if you've got time, just give us a mention. I said, I'll do a free talk on composting for the residents of Dudley Borough. And I had 3 people come round. Was it Thursday? Yes, from Dudley Council, and that they were doing a write-up, putting a thing together which is for the residents of Dudley Council itself, for schools and whatever. And I had to do a talk over. It took 5 goes. So I was saying water instead of water. Gordon Bennett, no, well, he wore a lot. What it was for me was, it's good in the sense it's going to get me noticed in the Dudley Borough. And when I was talking to them a lot, as I mentioned, I've been around the recycling depot when I was chairman of Dudley Horticultural Advisor Council before the cutbacks. We went round our recycling depot, which is in Wolverhampton, and it is crap. I said the compost that you're selling, £2 a bag, it's not compost, it is crap. And of course, we've never heard of it. Well, I'm gonna, from now on, I'm gonna tell you it's crap. That's why everybody needs me talk. And they says good idea. So that's got it in the head. But it's, I think that I said it's going to take 2 months to organise. Because I want to do it down Cornwall or Cornwall, yeah, down our zone. It's going to take a bit of organising. What if it's free? I don't know if they can do it for free entry for them, but it shouldn't be that much. But at least slowly we're getting somewhere, or I'm getting somewhere. Right, 2 talks left this year. Tuesday, 8th of November. This is an afternoon start. There's quite a few garlic clubs now doing this, because they don't want to go out at night. Because the weather's crap, like you see, and whatever. This is West Wales. £3 entry. Most of these talks are on compost. But if anybody's in the area, I think that takes me 2.5 hours to get to that one. Then the day after, Wednesday the 9th, Shrewley and District Garlic Club, Shrewley Village Hall. This is in Warwick, as you can see CV, so that's classed as Coventry. And that's £4 entry, that's on compost as well. Then the last 2 talks this year. Right, another photo I've nicked. This is making the chain for the Titanic. I made the anchor as well, up near the top by us. But this is putting the links together for the chain. They all wore caps, they even the kids then. And that's it. People. Hope you have enjoyed that lot. Paul, how come we've got a bloody big photo of you?
Cheers, Mick.
Cheers, Mick. Good one.
Cheers, Mick.
Oh, that's better. I know what I'm doing. Scott, you on with us?
Yeah. Missed a couple of weeks. Sorry about that.
I'm alright, mate.
Life gets in the way, doesn't it, sometimes?
Birthdays, that day.
Birthdays get in the way, yeah. Yeah. 50.
Cheers, Suzanne.
Mick, about 35, 40 years ago, I used to grow chrysanthemums, the November flowering ones. And they had to be in the greenhouse by the 17th of October. Otherwise, they'd be hit with a frost. That doesn't happen now.
Yeah.
Not the 17th of October.
Few things have changed, ain't they?
Yeah. I mean, that's why your plum, everything's flowering on your trees, on your fruit trees. It's all spot, isn't it?
I'm glad you're stopping with a peach because I know it works.
Make another thing. On the 10th of this month, I sowed some sweet peas, some old stock that I'd had in the fridge for the last 6 or 7 years in the fridge, and I've got good germination.
That's got to be your own personal fridge.
Well, I used to grow the Spencer ones years ago.
That name rings a bell.
Yeah, well, from Earl Spencer. First time I growed them, properly, I entered the Lake National Show, got two first and a second at national level, and best flowers in my division. That's with the sweet peas.
Yeah.
But my sister was on the way out then. She died on the 11th of November. 19 years ago now. And it took me a few years before I could grow any again.
Uh,
But it's surprising you can save your own seed. They do keep true to seed, you know.
to the
They do.
stock, yeah.
Yeah, unless you actually cross-pollinate them yourself.
Yes, good to know. Oh,
Those that you've got are the perennial ones.
yeah. Oh, I'll get a new stock for next year.
Have you got the old-fashioned ones, the pre-Spencer? Have you tried them?
I bought some old-fashioned seed because we're gonna have a class in our schedule for it.
Yeah.
But
They're generally a bit smaller,
oh,
and the scent on them's quite exquisite.
yeah. I saw the seed in Wilco when they was flogging them up. I thought, bloody hell, that's what. Was it? We got a March. We got a sweet pea speaker, and he's got to talk to Oslot about when to sow and how to grow them ready for our show.
Yeah,
It's a new class we mentioned.
You'd have to sow them round about the 10th of this month if you want it, because the roots would grow, but the top part would be held back. And if you grew them cool, I mean really cool in a cold frame, if the frost was to get them, it's just the same as you pinching them out.
Yeah.
They're harder than what people think. Who's giving you the talk on the sweet peas?
Forget her name. I'll have a nose. It's a wench from down south. I think is Eddyford way. It's Sue. I can't remember.
I used to be a member of the
Into my
society
brain.
years ago.
Memories crap. Somebody ever, I think it's Birmingham Daily Society. She gave them a talk, and a chap who was on there, and I sent her off to speakers. Also, like, she's brilliant. So that was it. I jobbed her. A chap and all was only down the road, hour away. But that's a new one for our schedule next year. Make sure that goes in. Committee meeting next week. Right, troops, I'm going to leg it. Calm down now, Rosie.
See you now.
We'll see you all next week.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Emmy. See ya.
If you got any photos, troops, let me have them, please. Good on you. See you all.
Cheers, Emmy. Bye.
Ta-ra, Abid.